It's a lot of damn money.
Well, what's the Trans World Dome, Chris?
Pardon me?
What's the Trans World Dome, Chris?
Home of the St. Louis Rams.
This is a family video, okay?
A family video.
Yes. Thank you,
I say green carrots.
thank you, Debbie, for getting that ready for Chris.
Okay, we're gonna go up one more level.
Hey, we're going to 6.
I felt bad as soon as.
Brian, hide under the seats. Stay till Sunday.
It takes 2 hours for the floor to actually convert from here to paint.
So why do they take it out?
The turf, if you all notice to my left, the different color of concrete that's on the very head. Yeah, it actually is hidden under the floor. That lifts up and it's called a magic carpet. And the carpet itself actually floats. All the little boxes down there are air pockets. And it actually is like a rush of air. It just actually floats. And they put a band across it with a pulley. You can see the pulley laying the carpet. The seats are retractable, the bottom level. Straight ahead, your house.
We're on the club level, Brian. That's where Chris's Kiss Kane seats are, the club level. Well, they're doing a lot of construction. They'll clean them before the game starts.
Rail's a little low.
I'd rather be on the front row. Hey, Dad. Look over there. You see those snack flags? Watch the Ramses to the villains.
Hey Terry, you get juiced up. You might go for a fall. You keep this there.
Rates out to $107,889, and he's beating his own numbers from last year, and it just doesn't stop. We touch base on a weekly basis. Al is actually now the 3rd highest volume restaurant in this market. He sees our sales on a weekly basis, and he's always asking, how does St. Peter's do? How did Bridgeton do? How's some of these Graham Road and Page and some of these others? He's the 3rd highest volume restaurant in the market. 2 years ago, Farmington, Missouri was doing $550,000. $200,000 increase in the club. We used to joke about it years ago. Al used to have us make these little signs up and put up by the dish up station. It used to say, wow. We kind of scratched our heads like, what the hell is he talking about? Al is by far the person who is living the wow experience every single day. So without any further ado, our keynote speaker, president of EBM Incorporated, Al Java. Al?
Never said I stopped anyone from getting to a happy hour. I don't know if anyone remembers this. Before it's my dirty karate t-shirt that I work on my bikes all the time with now. What's the date I'm going to say, Terry?
September of 90.
September of 90. Okay, this was before up in the back room, and everyone was like, oh, what's the wow meaning? And I always told people, and I believed it then, I believed it now, if you could say wow about everything you do, wow, what a clean looking store, wow, what great looking food, wow, what great looking oil, wow, what a beautiful stadium, whatever you could say wow about, the guests are probably going to say wow about it also. Okay, a few years back, Terry, well, this goes back a long way, but Terry gave a speech many, many years ago, and Larry, you're probably the only one old enough to remember it, but called Service in America. It was based on service in America, correct? Let me tell you, the other day I was talking to some managers, and first of all, is there a board-certified rocket scientist in this room? Probably not. Is there a board-certified idiot in this room? Probably not that either. So it's not going to take a rocket scientist to figure out what I'm trying to say today. And it's not going to, you have to be an idiot not to know it, but how do you put it into practice? I don't know. That's for everyone to decide. It has to work in their own, their own little group or their own little shop, okay? But anyway, I was talking to a group of managers the other day, okay? And they talked about how the marketing sucked, okay? They were talking about how you can't get good help, okay? They were talking about can't get any new products to to serve or any new products to bring in new guests, okay? And guess what? I wasn't talking to one Long John Silver's manager. I was talking to a manager of Taco Bell, well, manager owner, I was talking to a manager of McDonald's, and a manager of Pizza Hut, okay? So if they're saying those things, what a great opportunity we have. When I went into Farmington, like Chris said,
Sorry.
I'm just gonna flip this sheet over. I looked at the numbers. First of all, it was, when I went into Farmington, we had, I was kind of forced into the area, but anyway, it was, okay, Chris said $550,000. I sent those numbers off to Joe Davitt, sent them off to Treasure Isle, and I sent them off to another person I knew. They said, don't do it, too risky, can't do it. But I didn't have any options, okay? So I was like, well, what the hell am I gonna do? So I said, hey, we're going for it. So I took and said, okay, when I left Long John Silver's, okay, the one thing I believed in more than anything was I believed that Long John Silver's was solid. I believe that if it's served properly, I believe people will eat it. I don't think people will stay away from it. I believe that then, I believe it now, and I believe it 10 years from now. I think it's, because let me tell you, service out there is pathetic. It is pathetic. You go to drive-thrus, you don't talk to people that can understand English. They, you talk to them, they don't get your order right. It's terrible. But I knew going into this, and my wife reminded me every day, you better know what you're doing. You better know what you're doing, okay? And I had a pretty good idea I did. And I figured if I could get people to say wow about everything, hey, I had an opportunity. Now, where do I start? I mean, where would I keep? I mean, I'm scared, I'm shaking, because it's like, hey, if this thing doesn't work today, how do I pay the payroll? And think about it. I mean, how bad a week you have, you can pay the payroll. Because there's someone out there that's having a decent enough week that's going to pay your payroll. So it's lucky. Hey, there's been a lot of days where I said, hey, what do I do? Every day I gave a Martin Brower, every time I gave a Martin Brower order, I asked the lady, how much is that going to cost? So the difference between me and you is, you guys work, I work scared. I work scared, okay? Because, let's face it, if it doesn't work, I have to meet the payroll. They get paid before I get paid. That's the rule, okay? So I work scared, okay? But I also have to work with some comments. So anyway, the first day I turned that key, cigarette butt on the ground. I said, there will be no cigarette butts on the outside of this building. There will be no trash on the outside of this building, okay? Because if you're taking a restaurant over and people are passing by, the thing you have to do, if they're not coming in your restaurant now or coming in my restaurant now, I have to change something on the outside. I got to get them to go by and subconsciously think of my building and say, something's different about that building. What is it? I got to go in there, okay? Now, in a small town like mine, you may say, well, it's easier. Yeah, I make a lot of time.